Down the book.
Hello, this is Cammy Milty and I'm joined by OhYayOJ. This collaboration was supposed to be a multi-camera, multi-microphone setup of us making and tasting various Sparkle Power sandwiches from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Unfortunately, an Amber Alert came on all of our phones that we were recording with and destroyed our audio completely. So this is just going to be us voicing over our experience eating these sandwiches. Sorry for the lack of audio quality, but hopefully for future sandwiches you'll be able to get our live reactions. Thank you for understanding, and let's continue with the video. So here at the start, she asks me which sandwich I'd like to start with, and I think that the first place to start with will be the red pepper sandwich, the one that's for fire types. So she's taking the first bite here. It's really cumbersome to bite into because of how all the peppers are stacked, but I ask, how is the sandwich? She says it's alright. It's about as she expects. Not really surprised that a pepper sandwich isn't too wild. So then I take a bite and recognize that the taste of pickles is very overwhelming. I personally like eating bell peppers, the red ones, like apples, so I'm used to that taste. It's really just the fact that pickles are so strong that it tastes like a pickle sandwich. The pickles do add a small amount of salt. Overall, it's not the worst sandwich. It's just not a sandwich that I would pay for. My overall ranking is that it's so-so. We both believe that it's so-so, good to so-so. Me, biased in that I like red bell peppers. Redone, I would do it without the pickles. The next that we pick is the yellow sandwich. The electric sandwich is made with 3 stacks of bell peppers. So she's sort of evaluating how to pick up this sandwich, how she's going to eat this sandwich. And after hesitating a few times, she goes for a big bite. Again, she has a small mouth and these sandwiches are very big. So it can be troubling to get all the ingredients necessary into a bite of this sandwich. Overall, her impression of this is that it's another mid sandwich. Red and yellow bell peppers aren't too different off when it comes to their flavor profile. The red ones are a bit sweeter, but this one was stacked in a more cumbersome way, so it's harder for her to bite into. For me, I believe that I got a larger bite of pickle in my serving, so it's just unpleasant. There were 2 of them right next to each other. So with the milder taste of the yellow bell pepper and the very salty, pickly, briny taste of the pickle. It's just all pickle for me. I'm pretty sure these sandwiches would be pretty bland, normal sandwiches without all of the pickle in it. At the end of the day, it's pretty average. The pickles are kind of ruining it for me. It makes me wish that I was able to just bite into a normal yellow bell pepper on its own. So next we decide to go with the green bell peppers. I will be the one handling most of the tasting for this pepper because OhYayOJ is allergic to green bell peppers. So she really shouldn't be eating them unless they're actually very heavily cooked down, like in a stew or in a gumbo. And I point that out here that I will be the one handling the poison sandwich. It's actually one of the ways that makes it easy for us to remember, because it's poisonous to her. Sort of. Wow, this one is not good. Like, at all. Raw green bell peppers aren't really the best. They taste much better cooked because they're unripened. Depending on what culture you're in, a green bell pepper is definitely considered unripened and will give people indigestion even if they do not have allergies. So I'd strongly recommend cooking your green bell peppers. Or at least grilling them. She's contemplating the taste of her green bell peppers, actually. What? It's actually pretty good. She thinks it's actually pretty good for some reason. I don't know what to tell her. I think this might just be a case of her liking the things that she just can't have. Then again, her culture is Acadian Cajun, and green bell peppers do make part of the trinity used to make Cajun food. Alright, so now we've got 3 good ones and that one tofu sandwich that neither of us want to try. So, let's try and enjoy ourselves and fill up on the 3 good flavors. Taking a moment to drink water and cleanse our palates, I propose we go with the prosciutto, the flying type sandwich. The sandwich is surprisingly light compared to all of these other heavily veggie, water-filled sandwiches. The dried prosciutto is very light in comparison. I must say, it was absolutely heaven to bite into that prosciutto. To the surprise of no one at the table, the delicious salty prosciutto is actually heightened by the pickle and the cucumber. It adds a bit of moisture and a bit of tartness to the meat. The first sandwich we had that wasn't too soggy. Let me just grab another slice of this prosciutto and eat this. Bottoms up. No, nothing like a good piece of prosciutto. She's saying it's not too impressive. It is good prosciutto, but, it's average. The other sandwiches were pretty bottom tier, but this is acceptable. We'd say it's a B tier. So this is the ground type sandwich. Loaded with ham, pickles and cucumbers as always. Let's see how good this one is. At this point, someone using the kitchen is trying to understand what we're doing. They're mostly pointing out that monstrosity on the far right, the tofu sandwich, and trying to comprehend if we're really going to eat that. They had some questions about the other sandwiches too afterwards, but the tofu one obviously stands out to them. She says it's acceptable, it's about as expected. Tastes like a normal sandwich. Without further ado, let me take my bite of this ham sandwich. I figure it shouldn't be too far off from the Cuban-style sandwich. This one's good. It's like a Cuban sandwich. I was hoping that it tasted fine without mushroom or any of the extra ingredients in there, but it ended up being fine. The pickle finally wasn't overwhelming, or maybe I'd built up a tolerance to it. You've overall got no complaints. She's had Cubans before too. So I give her the call and ask her, what would you like to try? She points out that it's dark type fillet time. So for this we used salmon fillet. These are actually a Norwegian smoked salmon fillet because it's a smoked fillet. Couldn't find any fish-shaped ones, but this one should suffice. Now interestingly enough, in the store that we find some of this type of smoked salmon, it does come with a dill pickle spread, so we were very hopeful that this sandwich would taste good with the pickles. It's smoked in such a way that it should complement the pickles well. After a bit of adjusting here, and our surprise guest down there in the corner smelling the fish and walking by, I take my big bite. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. It feels so good to actually be eating a real sandwich. Oh, though the gush of pickles might have been, there's a pretty big pickle in mine, to be fair. Listen, I promise I don't hate pickles. It's just a bit too much for now. I'm a bit tired of them after today, but overall, good sandwich. She's got to rearrange the ingredients a bit here. And now that they're all lined up, alright, and she goes in for the bite. This one's really good. It looks like a winner from the two of us. Okay, well, now we know that it's tofu time. Those 3 sandwiches that tasted so good went by so fast. So let's get this palate cleanse and get ready for glory. Ah, it's so squishy. The squishiness, the wetness of this sandwich, and oh my goodness, the heft of this sandwich, it's so wet. Can't even see the bun anymore. This was the first sandwich we made, and the tofu was pretty soggy. The sheer weight of all this tofu and the sogginess of it has compressed the bread into a very thin but soggy wafer, almost like a flattened dish sponge. I'm not sure how I'm going to go pick this up, so I opt to get some rubber gloves. Hopefully the rubber gloves give me some grip and maneuverability picking up this very soggy sandwich. Alright, now we're in business. Now I'm trying to figure out the angle to approach this that I can actually get the bread and not have the sandwich fall apart. Now that I'm actually getting it into my hands, I'm realizing, how am I going to take a good bite of this and get a mouthful of all the ingredients? I also don't want the sandwich to disintegrate because I want OhYayOJ to get a bite. Maybe if I tilt it? Nah, the bread is not far enough. Maybe if I could slide the bread up. I don't think my mouth is wide enough for this. I need to move the pickles, definitely. I missed with that bite, I need a bigger one. There's the bite. Okay, it's not too bad. Actually, texturally, it's really quite bad. I really don't like wasting food, so I'm going to finish this bite, but it is a lot to chew and swallow. I'm trying to not overreact here or stall for time, but I've made my mistake, and I've made my peace with my mistake. I'm going to keep chewing until I can swallow this. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. It just tastes like a mouthful of pickles that someone has chewed up and regurgitated into my mouth like a baby bird. I'm sweating now. I'm actually sweating. Alright, well, I've suffered. Now I'm handing it off to you. Do you want the gloves? I'm highly recommending to OJ that she take the gloves. You're gonna want the gloves. Trust me, you will. And the lady obliges. It's very heavy and very wet, so you're going to need a firm grip on this. Let's make some space. She really can't get a grip on it. She's cracking up at how devastated this bread is. It's so soggy. After being lifted and put back down, the bread has become more of a paste as opposed to a bun, after putting some bread paste on top to try and get an even bite. She lines everything up, and here's the bite. That is not the face of a pleased person. She's food texture definitely does get to her when it's not good. So when it comes to trying new food, she's got to get past that sensation. She's had tofu before in miso soup, but I fear that this sandwich project here has ruined her chances of trying other types of tofu that are not in miso soup. I apologize, OJ, this is all my fault. Taking some time to regain her composure, and grabbing a mouthful of water to wash it down. She expresses a pretty similar opinion to mine. It's not so much the taste of the tofu, it's the fact that tofu, while uncooked and left to soak on a piece of bun, is extremely mushy and soggy, and an unpleasant texture in the mouth. But for that whole thing to taste like pickle juice, takes that discomfort to a whole other level. Overall, that's it. We've tried 7 sandwiches for now. We've covered fire, electric, poison, dark, flying, ground, and the normal type sandwich. We're hoping to try some other sandwiches in the future, and overall, we think that the fire and electric are passable. The poison one we can't agree on. The dark and ground flying are wonderful, and the normal type sandwich, please don't waste food. We're gonna mash this up and fry it into curry or something, but don't make the normal sandwich, please don't do it. Look at this unholy jiggle it makes. Well, that should wrap everything up. Let's get a high five for the road and let's cut the video. I'd like to use this chance to talk more about OhYayOJ's Etsy store and their stream. You can check them out here on Twitch, and I've put the link to their Etsy account down below. But on this Etsy account, you can see that they make little clay sculptures of small Pokemon. My personal favorites are the Spheals. I like Spheal a lot. But that's all I've got for you. Take care, and goodbye for now.